prop. That's used in movies all the time. Well, we're going to recreate a prop today that I think is really cool. We're at Adam's shop, obviously, and Adam has allowed us to recreate something he made himself. It's not a space pistol, it's a space sword. It's a lightsaber. It's a lightsaber.
Did you wear this shirt on purpose today?
Happy coincidences all around. This is Luke's lightsaber from, I believe, Return of the Jedi. And what Adam told me was he made this himself based on the references from a 1995 Star Wars prop tour exhibit in San Francisco. He actually, that was right before the prequels came out, and he went to this exhibit. George Lucas donated all these props to it. He took a ton of photos, and this is one of his, I guess, the lightsaber he made back then when he was at ILM. Is this the right kind of thing that we want to create a two-part mold?
Yeah,
from?
if we were to just glue it down and dump rubber on here, it wouldn't come out of the castings really good because all these little undercuts and all these little ridges. So it's best if you want to make a two-part mold on this. All
right. So I presume, like the other molds, a one-part mold, it's going to be some type of silicone, a molding material. And then you also want to create a shell for it. So what's the first step?
First step is we are going to clay this up so that we're only going to pour rubber on the first half.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll take a piece of foam core, and I've decided that I want to put this on one side of the mold, so that way I'm not making a seam line across this. This will just come straight out the top.
Right. Whereas in a one-part mold, you don't have a seam line unless you cut the mold open, because it's the flat base is where you tear it out. We're going to get a seam line.
Yeah. Once you start getting into two-part molds, you have to think about how it's going to demold, where you're going to pour the resin in. Like we're going to pour the resin in this flat bottom area, which is really easy. You know, how the resin's going to flow and where it's going to go into. Like obviously pouring it from this end is going to be pretty easy because we could just kind of roll it around and get rid of air bubbles. And then like where the seam line's going to go. Like is it going to cause any problems with casting, cause any problems with demolding the original? And that's one of those things that like over a little bit of experience and kind of looking at other people's molds and kind of researching how molds are made, you can kind of learn how to find your parting lines and how to find undercuts. With silicone, it's really forgiving. So if I don't get the parting line right on the top edge, if it's a little bit one way or the other, it's not gonna like break the mold.
Okay.
So it's real easy to start off with silicone because it's forgiving.
Okay. All right, so you have the space and you talk about creating clay. So the mold, the two halves of the mold are created one at a time.
Yeah, we have to put clay to separate the first side that we're gonna pour. Okay. And we're gonna flip it over, pull that clay off and pour the second side.
Got it.
So I'm using a water-based clay just because I can work really fast with it. You can